it. Believe Nation, happy Wednesday. Wednesday's our project day. It's been a wild day. So why project day? One, I like having 1 day per week to just work on all of those ideas that you get. You know, I get an idea and then I email myself, and then it's easy to just have those emails get buried somewhere and you never do anything about it. So Wednesday is the day where I actually get time to work on whatever I want to work on. And it's nice because Tuesdays are bonkers crazy doing YouTube stuff, all day YouTube videos. Thursdays are crazy. We're doing Brandlytics tomorrow, and then all day interviews and podcasts and Clubhouse. And so today is my day in the middle to do whatever I feel like doing, whatever I want to work on. So I was working on, what did I work on today? I had a call, I see Drew in the house. We had a call with Drew for his business. That was super fun, making a new contact for him. I've been working on my funnels, Brandlytics, did an interview with Les Brown where he interviewed me on his Facebook Live, which was super fun. And then afternoon, working with my marketing team to figure out our next path forward. So it's been crazy. It's been wild. It's been amazing. And this is my break. My break is to come and chat with you guys. I got 25 minutes to see how I can bring value and try to help. So welcome aboard, everybody. If you got questions, pop them down below. And I'll do my best to get. I see Nina. Nina's in the house. I like it. Caleb Box in the house. Caleb, it's been a while. Have you moved again? Every time I see Caleb stuff, he's in a new condo. He's moved again. Every time upgrading because he's blowing up his business. I love it. Who else we have in the house? We got some fun people in the house. So you got a question? Pop it down below. Use the little chat box, and we'll try to get through as many as we can. Rosie Rose in the house. I love Les Brown. Les Brown was awesome. We're going to be doing a Clubhouse room together next week on Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to listen to Les interview talk live, you can join us on Clubhouse next week. That'll be super fun. And yeah, he wants me to speak it. He's doing an upcoming event. I don't think it's public yet. So anyway, stay tuned. Secrets. I'll be doing some stage work with Les Brown, speaking at his event. And I love Les. You know, Les is my speaking hero. You know, when I was getting started in the speaking game, Les Brown is the man. Les Brown was the guy who I looked up to the most. So it's an honor. You know, it's an honor to just be working with them. It's an honor. You know, he was interviewing me on his Facebook Live today. It's like, what's happening? This is crazy. He said very nice things that made me very humbled, and I'm still working on accepting compliments. So it was very, very nice to hear. Anyway, what do we got? Willie Blake Light. How to best take advantage of moving into a different state? I guess it depends on how local your business is. And then how much you care about local networking, you know? So my business is not very local. My salsa business is, but my YouTube business, Instagram, whatever, my Evan Carmichael business isn't. And I'm introvert, so I don't care about going to networking events and meeting people really. So it just depends on your business, right? Your business and your own need just to be around people. But there's things are starting to open up. There's events, there's places, there's clubs, there's communities, there's people. Just if I really wanted to meet new people in a new city, you just look at what interests you have that fit that vibe, right? So I'd look at entrepreneurship, I'd look at salsa dancing, I'd look at League of Legends, and I would try to find local communities that talked about those things and go connect and meet people, if that's what I really want to do. IG Live with Angel in the house has 2 legends. Is that what, me and Les? Well, I'm working my way to that status. Anyway, it was definitely a ton of fun. What else we got? Great question. Hello, love you. I appreciate you. The man. Evan, I make content in English. In my country, only a few people understand English. That just depends on who you're trying to ultimately sell to, you know? Most of my audience is American. Most of the people who will buy my stuff or come to my events or anything, it's mostly American. I'm in Canada, and I can still reach them through the beauty of the internet. You know, here we got Instagram Live, people tuning in from around the world. So if your ultimate goal is to be able to reach a broad market, then English is the place to be. And if you're trying to make money from your content, English. I mean, it could be a paradise. If you're living in a country where the cost of living is pretty low, and then you get to earn in US dollars, you could live like a king on very little, compared to earning the same amount in the United States is going to be a lot harder. So it's really what you want to do. Do you want to reach a broad market with your content? Then go English. You want to reach just your local country because that means something to you? Great. Change the content and put it in your local language. Make sense? Angela says yes. Woohoo. Tuesday, says Zan. Zan, what's happening on Tuesday? I don't know what's happening on Tuesday. Is something big happening on Tuesday? Tuesday is my next YouTube day. Or did you think today was Tuesday? Today's Wednesday. Although I often forget what the day is and what I'm going to be working on. I want to become world class. Great. I mean, but world class at what? You're going to be world class at what? That's what we got to get specifics on. Okay. How about we do some, who's here from Movement Makers? How don't we do some Q&A, Movement Maker style? What do we got? Let's see. Ooh, I see Trenton in the house. Trenton, you're coming in, Trenton. Trenton, you got to say yes, Trenton. Okay. Who else do we got? We got TG in the house. And who else hasn't been on in a while? Who's Movement Makers that hasn't been on in a while? We had Angela on yesterday. Let's see. Let's bring Zan. We haven't had Zan in a while. Okay, Zan, TG, and Trenton. You have to say yes. You have to say yes because we're spreading the message that matters. Trenton in the house.
Hey,
The
how are
man.
you?
All right, he's the first one in. Okay, where's TG? Hey, here's TG. Okay, and where's Zan? Come on,
You
Zan.
called me.
We-
You called me. I was in the middle of something. I saw you. I just go on. Thank you, Evan, for bringing me in.
Where's Zan? Where's Zan? Zan's not here. Zan, where are you? Zan always shows up. Okay, hold on. Zan's not showing up. Okay, let's bring Drew in then. Drew's here. I saw Drew. I was just talking to Drew. It's been a Drew day. Are you guys ready for some questions?
Yeah, let's go.
Oh,
Did I
Zan is
make
here.
it?
Okay.
Yeah, of
You
course.
made it.
Hi,
Hello,
Jan.
everybody.
All right. This is it.
Yeah, good,
Listen,
Okay.
good.
We're
listen.
doing a special Movement Makers edition,
No,
Q&A style. Pop your questions, use the little chat box, and we'll get to as many as we can. Let's go. Okay, let's see. When you have to overcome so much, how do you serve one specific audience? When you've overcome so much, how do you serve one specific audience? Ooh, that's a tough one.
Yeah,
Who wants to go? We're starting off on a hard one. Trenton's already like, ooh, I don't know how I'm gonna answer this one. Okay, Zan, you're the veteran here. You go first.
Here we go. Here we go. Okay.
But let's give these people some time to think here too. Trenton's taking some
Yeah.
water. He's thinking it over.
Thank you. Yeah, you're right. We need it.
Okay, Zan, go.
It's the one word, 3 letters, 1 question. WIN. What's important now?
Mhm.
All right.
What's important now is what they should help their audience overcome. So,
Got it.
okay, go a little bit deeper. Okay, find out what's the most important thing to your audience. What is their need? Feed their need.
I like it.
Okay, so that's very.
There we go. Tessa's saying, Trenton, I see you everywhere I go. Wow. Trenton's been turning up his game. I like it, man.
Yeah, facts.
Okay. So
actually,
over to you then, Trenton. What do you got for this one?
So actually, we talked about this in Elsmera's live, and it's basically serving the pain that you're going through right now. The pain that I'm going through right now, or I'm currently facing ongoing, is the imposter syndrome, showing up in a way that you want to show up. So for me, I'm talking to the person that has imposter syndrome, meaning that how do I talk to that person? I connect with that pain. And with that being said, that's how it's no longer overcoming something, it's serving that pain to a point where it's like you don't have to worry about anyone else because that's your tribe, that's your particular people that you can connect with. So that's like how I start to see it, and like saying yes to these type of things is that I'm casting a vote for who I want to be every single day now from going forward.
Trenton Jones. I love it. All right. Gigi, what do we got?
So, by coincidence, I was I'm having a session with Esmeralda tomorrow, and she asked me to choose what topic I really want to speak on, overcoming life's challenge. So I was thinking about it, and one of the things that came to my mind was that I was looking into several of the challenges I passed through, and the reflection I had took me back into the deepest and most difficult time I had. So going back into that, and I try to imagine, would really that give meaning for people if I bring that out, a specific challenge, and share them how I went through. So that's how I try to identify, and I really find meaning in that too, because when you are challenged, the kind of, particularly the first news or the first incident, when you face the first time the challenge itself, you don't know where to go. You're blacked out, you're shocked, something like that. So overcoming that part is one of the most important things I would love to share, for instance, for my audience, if I'm given a chance.
Hey, you give yourself a chance by just recording the video. That's your chance, and you put it up every time.
Thank you.
Yeah, you have permission.
Yeah, exactly.
You give yourself permission to go create. My answer to this question, I was just talking to Les Brown about this. Right? It was a wild. I always looked up to Les Brown as one of my speaking heroes, and he just interviewed me for his channel, about an hour ago. Which is a huge honor, and he said, so many amazing things that I'm still kind of humbled for. But we were talking about, just before we kind of went live, about how you want to customize your message to your audience, that you just don't show up and say the same thing over and over and over and over again, and who cares about your audience? And that's why Les is such a great speaker. It's he gets to know who is in this room, and then he tells an authentic story that relates to that audience. So if you look at me, sometimes I'm the Believe guy. Sometimes I'm the YouTube guy. Sometimes I'm the salsa dancing guy. Sometimes I'm the League of Legends entrepreneur guy, right? I show up differently depending on whatever the room is. And it's still me. It's just a different version of me. And I'm telling, it's always Believe. But the stories that I share, I try to make it as valuable as possible to the people that I'm connecting with and telling. So I think if you come through, you've overcome so much. Back to this question, that's great. Now you've got 40 different stories that you can tell. Don't say the same 40 stories every single time, because that's going to take you 4 days to get through them. You pick the right story for the right audience that you're talking to, or if you're coaching, for the right individual client that's right in front of you. I joined you in Les. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. That was a good moment. Okay, what else? Guys have questions, pop it down below. We'll do our best to answer. How many hours do you work each day? Ooh. Okay. Okay. Who wants to take this first?
I can take.
Okay, go for it.
So my days are filled with different things. So, if you ask me how many hours a day I work, it would go up to, some days it's more than 12 hours. Some days it's, if I include the thinking, the reflection, and so on, it might go even more than that. So, for instance, I'm fully engaged in my baking business. I usually spend from 6 to 8 hours a day in that. But I also spend my time on reading and, for working on my channel and so on. So it depends. It depends on what kind of activity I'm doing. I don't even remember how many audiobooks I listen while I'm baking, because it's a lot of audiobooks I'm listening to that. So there are also some overlapping activities I do.
Got it. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who's that? Zan didn't even remember it was Wednesday today. He thought it was Tuesday. He's pulling an Evan. That's something I would do. What day is it? What year is it? How old am I? I don't know. What are you guys saying? What's the question? How many hours do you work each day?
That's a hard question because I don't keep track. So when they say work, do they mean, well, to me, I don't think of what I do as work. if I'm working on a book or creating a project, or I'm coaching, I guess coaching be considered work, but I don't consider it work. So, but if I had to try to answer that question, it would have to be 6 hours a day. If I had to quantify it, 6 hours a day, 4 days a week. I take Saturday and Sunday and Tuesday off, but if something's going on, I go ahead and work on Tuesday. But my weekends, I try to keep my weekends off. Definitely on Sunday, I turn everything off on Sunday. So no one can contact me on Sunday. I close off the world on Sunday. And Saturday is normally social time with family and my wife and, you know, my friends. So yeah, so maybe 6 hours a day, 4 days a week, sometimes on Tuesdays.
That's good.
All right. Okay, Trent, what do you got?
It's same with Zen. It's sort of difficult to kind of budget out like the hours that I work, but more of I kind of break it down into what I'm like the time that I'm creating and the time that I'm actually doing this type of thing. So like for me, one of the things Evan, when we had our mastermind, our IG Live, is like just start reaching out to people, start doing that daily work. So I guess like 2 hours outreach or 2 hours of like just like community building, because without a community, you can't really build a movement from that. But creating wise, researching, reading books, like how can I pull out stories that are helping me? I'll say like that's like 2 hours, so like 4 hours of actual work. But then like there's a study that I was reading, and actually people actually only work 2 hours their whole entire day. Wow. So technically, really, it's like if you're putting in 2 hours a day, then you're actually doing the work that matters the most. It's like what you do in those 2 hours. So that's kind of like for me. But I don't have a set hours like I work 18 hours, 10 hours plus hours, those type of things.
Well, dude, you're doing it because Tess sees you everywhere. Everywhere she goes, there you are making content. I love it.
Amazing.
For me, it's all just living. You know, it's all just the life that I want to live. Is this work right now? It's not work for me. You know, like this is fun. This is my break. I was talking to Les Brown work today. No, it was hella fun, right? I mean, so I think if you're seeing it as work, you might even be approaching it from the wrong mindset. Like you should be liking the thing that you're doing. I look at all the people that I profiled. That's the number one thing they have in common is they love the process. It doesn't feel like work to them. Stepping into their shoes might feel like work for you, but for you doing it, you know, teachers baking. Oh my gosh, that'd be like the worst thing of all time for me. I would hate that.
I'm baking, but you know what? I'm a real consumer of the YouTube and the movement makers chat, everything, audiobooks. I make 3 hours to 4 hours a day for 5 days. But all those time when I'm baking, I'm listening. I'm also learning. I'm also reflecting. So, you know, I'm, you know,
that would be
at least I multitask. I can really continue.
That's torture.
Yeah.
3 hours of baking every day. I am bored out of my mind. I hate it. I'm hating my life. But that's the whole point, right? It's like your schedule should be torture for somebody else coming in. I think if I was in a kitchen 3 to 4 hours a day, Nina would start to kick me out.
Oh, really? You know, mine it's a livelihood I have to do.
Yeah. So I think it's all just living, you know. Back before COVID, if Nina was out on a Friday night and I was home by myself, 80% chance I'm going to start working on some project. It's like, ooh, I got 3 extra hours. Oh, you know what? I could work on this email, or I could do another video, or I could like 80% chance I'm just working on something, but it doesn't feel like it's work. I don't keep track of, okay, I did my X number of hours. Now I'm going to check out and go do something else, right? Yeah. Like it's all living, as opposed to thinking of it as work and then life, right? Yeah. Like not work-life balance. It's life balance.
Yes.
It's life balance. Yeah, exactly. One thing I would like to talk is about, you know, for people particularly like me who are spending longer hours working, if they have a chance to listen to something, that will keep them inspired and moving. That's what that really helped me out. Even to think of coming to you and trying to use my time, whatever time available, in a more passionate way. I like to involve. It's the listening that has helped me a lot, really. So this is one way to help people to come out. keep themselves in connection to what they really like. And that's one method.
I love it. I love it. Okay, what else we got?
Thank you.
Oops. Sorry, I lost the questions there. Question. What are you
Oh,
doing?
it's here.
What are you doing when you get bored of doing the same things every day?
I'll take it.
All
So
right,
actually,
here we go. Let's go.
I was doing like I said, I like to do experiments for myself. So if you're doing something every single day and you're bored of it, what you do is do something different. Like how I would say I like merging the two ideas together, doing something different like that you enjoy doing. So like for me, for example, I like to coach. I like to be on podcasts and stuff like that. But what I also like to do is I like to take notes. So what I do is I have like this little journal and I come up with 10 ideas of like, how can I turn whatever I'm learning from a podcast into an episode or to an idea that I can act on or coach someone on or send something to. That's kind of like how I make sure that like, what I'm doing, like researching and reading can't be boring most of the day. It's like, okay, that's all you do all day. But like switching it out from like, okay, how can I apply it to some type of service or some type of like creating something from that? I think that's where the fun and the play comes into part, and just start doing that. And if you're getting bored of the thing, you have to really focus on what are you actually doing that's not fun no more. And I think that's something that everyone can attest to. It's like if you're not having fun, then why are you doing it in the first place?
Great answer.
There you go. Wise words. I like it.
Great answer.
Yeah.
Well, mine is kind of, okay, I just tell you, I don't know what it's going to sound like, but I don't believe in boredom. I really don't. I'm so grateful for life itself. Get grateful. So whatever you're doing that you think is boring, you got to change your mindset, because be grateful that you actually get to do this thing. Number two, I'll give you an example, like doing bills. Bills could be boring for me, but I'm like, you know what? I'm so grateful I have the money to pay my bills and the people I'm paying my bills to keep my lights on. It's a change of attitude. Then you can throw some music on, or you can find other ways to do what you're doing so it won't be so boring. But I come from a place where I don't believe in boredom. I believe in life. You know, you can bring the excitement to what quote unquote was boring. And number two, if you really just can't do it, delegate it. Delegate. And because there are people out there that what you're bored at, they get excited about. Delegate it. Or fact, if you can't pay for a partner with someone, do a trade. Okay, that's it.
All right. TG, what do we got?
Wow. So for me, I'm in the process of catching up myself when I get bored. But I used to pass a long hours just bored like that, before. But now, when that feeling comes in, I ask myself, why do I feel this? Do I really want to pursue working? And then I try to change. What often that works for me now is change the environment. For instance, I told you where I was listening, while I'm baking. If my attention is not really 100% there, then I say, no, I'm not listening, so let me change to music or something else. So right away, shifting to other side of the thing I want to do helps me a lot to move on. And yeah, usually that's why, even for today, for instance, in the morning, I was saying, oh, why am I not moving? Why am I not doing this and so on? So right away, that came to my mind was calling a friend. I called my friend and we started chatting. We end up connecting to Ethiopia and we happened to discuss about, every one of us were having a question and identifying our purpose. So it came out a very beautiful discussion. And then, this is how I reach out for people, or I reach out for something that I do differently. But boredom comes now and then, it's part of life. So I just treat it like that. So far, I'm okay. That's what I can say.
I love it. So for me, I split it into short-term and long-term. If it's a short-term thing that you can't control, then you just say, hey, this is the best. This is my chance to show myself in the world what I'm made of. And you grind through it, right? I think, some people are bored of school and they don't want to go to school anymore. And they find like the research paper's boring and pointless and meaningless, and this is not going to help me in my career to be an entrepreneur or whatever. And so why are you doing it? Well, you're doing it for your parents, or you're doing it so that you have a backup plan, and you're doing it for the next 3 years. And it's just getting through that, remembering why you're there, and if doing it for your parents is a good enough reason, and that it's only this fixed amount of time, that you're not going to be doing this for the rest of your life. And you then say, okay, so I'm going to get this done, and I'm going to show up, because if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it well, right? How you do anything is how you do everything. And so knowing that there's a timeline to it helps. Feeling like you're going to be stuck in this thing for the rest of your life, that sucks. So if it's something that you can't control, or that you've decided you just have to do, then you muster up strength. You show yourself that you're the kind of person who can be disciplined and go after it and get stuff done, and you get it done. Yep. Long term, you have to be out of that thing. Long term, you have to work your way out of that job, out of that career, out of that relationship, out of that whatever the thing is that's causing you massive boredom. Because again, the number one rule for success is you have to love what you're doing. And you can hack it, and you can trick yourself, and you can do it. Like, you can put on music, and you can talk to a friend, and you can do all these things to help you in the moment get through this thing. But long term, you don't want to be doing this for the rest of your life. So you have to find a way through, right? And so what's the hope? What's the path for you to not have to do this anymore, right? That doesn't solve your situation today, but a year from now, you can't be in the same situation that you're in right now. Because if you are bored and hate your life every day, that's not a path to impact and meaning and contribution and purpose and happiness. Hoo-wee! Guys, time flies when you're having fun.
That's really nice.
Everybody watching, go check out Trenton, go check out Zan, go check out TG. Appreciate you guys. Oh, Zan's got...
Thank you. Thank you.
Doing house her hand, her finger.
Oh, Nina was fine. They won. You know, Nina's a tough cookie. That stuff's not going to hold her back. She went to drive to the hospital with her hand all chopped out. So, yeah, she's fine. No problem. Next, I already moved on to the next thing. Nina's not the whiner, which is another reason why I love her. Anyway, but thank you for asking. We do love Nina. I'll see you guys all next week. Movement makers. Make it count.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for watching. Believe.
Thank you. Believe.